Hi, I'm Hunter Beast. I co-author of BIP360, and that is the proposal to essentially improve Bitcoin's quantum resistance by soft fork that fixes a problem we've identified in taproot addresses. And if we are able to introduce this essentially gives us the basically approach to improve, basically add optionality in wallets to give people a choice between elliptic curve cryptography and post-quantum cryptography. I'm very grateful to be invited to talk about my work and advocate for improving the security of essentially what is the foundation for the value in the cryptocurrency ecosystem, which is Bitcoin. And I'm just really glad and happy to talk about my work and also to support the work that people are doing in this space along with Duncan and Abelian in their efforts to solve these very difficult problems of essentially quantum resistance and how it impacts all the different various things that we already make use of in Web3 and also in the course of using Bitcoin as money. Yeah. I think the most important signal I could think of in regards to say like Q-Day would be, which is I guess maybe not necessarily in relation to quantum cycle or market cycles, but with Q-Day in particular, like the concept of like a quantum. I hesitate to call it doomsday, but regardless, what we call a Q-Day, I think is I think that's going to be. We need to make sure that we're prepared within. I mean, in many ways, we've done a lot of work to be prepared. We need to do more work in that regard, and I would like to see those efforts to reach full maturity within the next year or two, and that way that we're fully prepared in case there is any kind of surprise and we just don't want to be surprised. We want to be prepared. That's the most important thing. As far as like larger market cycles, like the halving and that sort of thing, I mean, obviously like Bitcoin's halving dynamic has in the past proven to be sort of a useful supply side metric, but of course that doesn't really necessarily explain the effects of like the demand side, and one of the bigger impacts on demand is FUD, and we've been talking about the quantum FUD since 2012. That was the earliest mention in Bitcoin Talk forums on the threat that quantum computers could face to the cryptography used by Bitcoin. And so I think it's important that we are prepared and that we signal preparedness and that we hopefully can eventually put that FUD to rest along with all the other FUD narratives that have been used to attack Bitcoin and crypto in general. Yeah, we need to. So there are definitely certain unsolved problems, or how would you say, like problems that we have some solutions for that are just not ideal. Post-quantum cryptography right now, the signature sizes are quite large. Sometimes the public keys are quite large as well, depending on the algorithm. And also important to discuss is in that regard is the like things like verification time and key generation time, key distribution, things like what we call BIP32 extended public keys are I think one of the larger problems that we don't have good solutions for. They won't come from hash-based cryptography, which is the sort of like what I would call the gold standards in security for like basis on cryptographic assumption. SLH, DSA, and Sphinx are good solutions that are based is a good solution based on hash-based cryptography, but unfortunately hash-based cryptography, you cannot derive a public key from another public key, which is essentially what you need from sort of like a watch-only wallet perspective that's useful for multi-sig wallets and multi-party computation protocols. So those are kind of like I think like some of the more thornier problems that we still need to solve, especially things like signature aggregation and threshold signatures, and maybe even scaling eventually using techniques like Starks. Yeah. So we see that Bitcoin is maturing into a sort of institutional asset class, and we're seeing what we call institutional adoption. And ultimately, I think even more so in the further along that road is nation-state adoption, central bank adoption, and we need to solve these fundamental cryptographic problems for these protocols to essentially prove themselves against nation-state attacks. Which I'm not sure we've really seen the full extent of so far, perhaps. We really need to be prepared to adopt post-quantum cryptography, but be very careful in how we do that. And we also need to basically just do our best to prove our value to the ecosystem. I think ultimately institutional adoption, I mean, like the institutions that custody Bitcoin and also use it for ETFs are definitely very concerned about this problem, and we want to make sure that they are heard, that their concerns are heard, and that they're taken very seriously, as this is a multi-trillion-dollar asset class. There are hundreds of billions of dollars currently at stake. We know that this will only continue to grow in value as the need for things like Bitcoin increases in aggregate. And so ultimately, I just want to make sure that people know that we're working very hard to solve that problem and have good solutions waiting in the wings just in case they're needed. And I think they will be. And we will be prepared, not scared. Thank you.